Hey July, you're most welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do boho braids. Actually, this is my first time to do boho braids and I'm going to be featuring hot braids. Okay, the curls you are seeing is hot braids. Now straight into the tutorial. I am combing my hair straight up. I've already straightened my hair. You remember the video I released when I went to the beauty salon? Yes, so this is the result and my hair is so straightened. I feel it is just the right fit for me to do this hair. It was so easy for me to part my hair, you know. So if you get a professional to work on your hair, it's always the best. Like I always tell you, if you are dealing with professionals, it is always the best. Okay, over here what I'm trying to do is pattern my hair from my ear to ear and I use my gel to clean it up. You can use any gel of your choice. And then I also parted my center part from my nose up until the middle part, and then I use my gel to clean it up with my rattle comb or my metallic end comb. Okay, and then I use my wide teeth comb to comb it upwards and tie the sides with a rubber band to just put it away. And then at the back I'm also using the gel to clean up the part or the back so that my kitchen is well laid. I am going to divide my back into two, okay, and I'm also dividing it from my ear to ear, as you can see. So the pattern I'm going to be working with is medium size. I'm not going to do small, and neither am I going to be doing big. I'm aiming for medium sizes, and the pattern I'm doing is just the perfect way to do it. Even if you are doing small sizes, this pattern is perfect because I've also used the same pattern to do small size braids and then also jumbo braids as well. So I already have 1, 2, 3 and then 4 parts. Now at my back, I am starting with my back and dividing it into 4 parts. You realize that I did middle part first, and so before I start, let's get into the hot braids. The package came together with a tote bag and then a box which was full with goodies like hairbrush, hair comb, edge comb, some clips, and then the rattle comb and the hair extension itself. It comes in 3 bundles, and in each bundle it has mini bundles in it. So it all has 6 mini bundles. So this is it. It is so soft and it's bouncy. It is so beautiful. So that is what I'm going to be using with a braiding attachment. You can use any braiding attachment of your choice. The hair again is called Hot Braids, and I'm going to be putting the details if you want to purchase in the description box so that you make use of the link and then you buy directly from the site, so that you don't end up buying fake, because there are so many fake hair extensions on the market that claim to be human hair, but at the end of the day you may not get the exact hair I'm using. So please purchase directly from the sites that I provide in my description box so that you end up getting the same thing I am using, because the hair is so soft, it doesn't tangle, it doesn't irritate the skin at all. Okay, and braiding with it, it's so much easier because I mean it is quality and it comes in exactly as you are seeing. Okay, now when I started at my back, I only started by doing a normal box braid, and then I started attaching the curl extensions inside. You are going to see a more detailed version when I braid alongside, or when I get to the middle part, or like as I braid along. But basically all I'm doing is feeding in the curl extensions from the part that is blunt, and then I braid it down a little bit before I seclude it from the extension, and I braid the rest of the extension along. Now at the back again, I divided it into 3 different parts, and then I went along. So you know I have one at the back, one at the middle, and one at the front. And then at the middle part I also did the same thing by dividing it into 3 different parts. Okay, so basically I'm just giving you an overview of how I went about with the pattern so that you know how to also go about it. And over here I'm just going to do a demonstration of how I went into a little bit of detail with the braiding. Okay, so I started by applying gel at the base, and then I started by doing box braids by parting the section into 3 equal parts and then doing a normal braid. I've already showed you how to place your mirrors to braid your hair, so if you are like me who wants to be braiding your own hair, please, you have to learn how to place your mirror so that you can see your back, and that is one of the best ways to really get your patterns right. There are some people who part their hair without looking into the mirror, and I mean kudos to them, but for me that is what I do, and that has been working for me. Over here you can see that I'm not doing anything special. I'm just feeding in the synthetic extensions or the braiding extension, and my first curl extension went in normally, and then I braided it a little bit down before I secluded it away from the rest of the braid, and then I braid about 2 or 3 inches down, and then I add another curly extension. So the number of extensions or the curls you will add to the hair depends on how full or how light you want the curls to appear in your braiding or in your boho. So for example, at the back I only attached about 3 to 4 strands of the curls, and then as I progressed I increased the strands. Okay, so you can see that as I'm adding the curl extensions, I leave about 2 to 3 inches from the extension or from the curl I added to the previous one, and then I progress. So depending on how full you want your curls to be in the boho, that is how many times you are going to be adding the curl extensions. Again, for me at my back I added about 3 to 4 curl attachments to the braid, and then when I progressed I increased it to 5, and then 6 to, and then 7, and then 8, and you are going to see what I mean by the increment. But over here, because I didn't want to finish the hair and curl the hair again, I attached the curl extension to the end and I braid it together with the synthetic extension or the braiding extension, so that by the time I am done I will have the curl extension at the ends of my hair, so that I don't have to go back and curl the ends. Do you understand? That some people, when they do the boho braids, they leave the braiding extension and then go back to curl the braiding extension with hot water, and then they have the curls at the ends. But mine, I didn't want to go back to curl the hair extension. I just added the curl to the tips, and then I had curl at the ends, and when I was done I just used my hot comb to secure, and you're going to be seeing more often. Over here, this is just my snack break, and actually this is the second day. I started around 11 p.m. and I finished around 5 a.m. for the middle part of my hair, and I continued the front part around, I think I started around 12 or 1 p.m. the next day. So with the front, like you are seeing, I also parted my hair close to my ear, just almost the same size at the back, and then I applied gel on my main hair or my natural hair, and then I started braiding it into box braids. I always say that when you are braiding your hair, make sure you are not tightening it, because, well, for me, I'm tender-headed, so I can't tighten my own hair. But if you are like me, also don't tighten it, but you also to make sure that you are securing it as much as possible. Now for every section I did, I added about 3 braiding extensions, and you can see that over here I'm attaching the blunt part of the curl extension into the braiding extension or into the braid, and then I braid a little bit along about 1 or 2 inches, and then I remove it from the main braid so that I seclude it from it. Then I continue with the rest of the braid. It is not difficult at all. It is very, very easy. You just have to be repeating it so many times. Over here I'm just adding another curl extension. Like I mentioned, the front part I added about 6 to 7 or 8 different curl extensions to the hair, so that it is very, very full at my front, because I wanted the front part to be very, very full. Okay, and then same as here, I'm repeating it over here so that you really get how I am attaching the curl extensions inside. The feeding is basically the same, and I think everyone has a different method of doing a feeding. If you don't know how, like I'm saying, you just need to repeat it several times and then learn how and practice it before you go ahead and do your hair. Now attaching the curl extensions inside, you see that I'm attaching the blunt part and I'm braiding a little bit inside so that it doesn't remove from the braid. Okay, so that it doesn't fall out. So I braid it a little bit inside before I seclude it from the main braid, and then I braid alongside about 3 to 4 inches. I attach my braiding extension or the third braiding extension. I braid it along about 1 or 2 inches, and then I attach another curl extension like you are seeing. It's basically the feeding method. It's not anything special. You just have to make sure that you are tucking in very well, and you are making sure that the curl extension is well secured before or as you move along. And I am doing it the same way, trying to repeat it several times so that you know how I am doing it. And as I'm braiding alongside, I'm also applying gel to the blunt side so that it doesn't really pop out of the extensions. Otherwise, by the time you'll be done, you would see that there are so many hair strands around your hair, and you may not have enough time or the patience to really use scissors to trim the strands that are around it. So use as much gel as you can to really tack the blunt part, especially when you tack into the mid braiding or into the main braid, or if you feed into the main braid. If your curl extensions are worrying you, all you have to do is use the hair clips to actually secure the extensions or the curl extensions so that they don't come into your main braid. And I'm using the hair clips that came with a package from HOTBRAIDS, and that is what I'm using. And you can see that at the ends I'm using the curl extension, and I'm just trying to clean up the part as I go. So when I see any hair strands that is popping out, I just use my scissors to trim it, and then I use my straightener to kind of seal the part. It burns it a little bit so that it is more sealed and it is more secure. You can equally go ahead and use glue to do the securing, but glue leaves white flakes. In my experience, it leaves white flakes. So you can see that this extension has about 5 to 6 of the curls, and that is how you can achieve the fullness of the hair. Over here, I'm just removing the edges so that I don't end up braiding my edges. You don't want to end up being losing your edges. So that's why I'm trying to separate my edges from the main braid. So basically, that is all this boho braids is about, and I'm going to be repeating it. So please watch with your physical eyes, like I always tell you. Okay, so the straightener at the end simply burns the hair a little bit so that it is more secure. Like I was saying, you can go ahead and use hair glue to do it, but I didn't use hair glue because in my experience I realized that it leaves white flakes, and you don't want your hair to look like Snow White by the time you are done. So the straightener is perfect. All you have to make sure to do is that you are not putting it on high heat, and then you are also not ending up going to burn yourself. Hey, now what English am I speaking like that? So that you don't end up burning yourself. Okay, and also because you are using braiding extension and it is synthetic, you also don't want to burn the hair completely. So you just put it on minimum heat, and when you are trying to apply the heat onto the hair, you realize that it has burnt it enough to secure, and the curls will not pop out, especially for the last part where you add the curl extension so that your tips would be curly. So basically that is it. I'm just going to leave you to watch, and I am going to get back to you soon. So I told you the hair is very full. I ended up using 2.5 curly extension. This is how much curls that is left. I can actually use it to do another style, but when I was done, I didn't dip my hair into hot water. I just poured hot water into towel, and then I used it to tap onto my hair because I don't want the water to be dripping on my body. So I made sure to wet the towel. So I'm actually applying the hot water on the hair so that it really softens the human hair curls, and then it becomes very, very soft for me to apply the mousse on it. And over here I'm just using my mousse. You can use any mousse of your choice to apply onto the braids, and you can see that the curl is really popping out beautifully. It is so soft. Look at how it is popping out, so beautiful, so soft. Like I said, it doesn't tangle. I have been wearing it for the past 2 weeks now as I'm recording this video, and it doesn't tangle at all. It is so nice, and I'm going to be putting up the maintenance routine, how I do mine, on my TikTok and Instagram, so please do check it out. I went ahead to do other styling with this boho braids, and this is the very basic one. As you can see, you can leave it all on yourself and then flip it to the side, flip it to your right side, or flip it to the left side, and you can tell that it is so beautiful. This is the first style I am doing, and I'm just trying to do a half up, half down by using my rubber band to secure at the back, and then also using this claw clip to secure and folding it on top of the claw clip. And this is how it is looking like, so beautiful and chic. You can use this half down, half up style to go to any occasion, especially for the office or for any formal function or any event at all. You can do that. And then for the second style, I'm just trying to use the rubber band to secure one side, and then the other side I'm using these butterfly colorful clips. I use the orange colors to match my shirt, and you can see how chic it is. You can use this to go for a brunch or friends get together or something like that. And then with this third style, I'm just trying to put some of the extensions at my front and then trying to do a swoop. And basically this is how the swoop is looking like. This gives classy, this gives like an intelligence girl, this gives like a science girl. I'm so in love with the hoop earrings. I bought it from, I think I got it from Shein or something, but I love it. And then I just pulled one strand to my side, and look at how beautiful it is. It's giving everything it's supposed to give, okay, period. Period. So let me know which style you love in the comment section. But this is the fourth style as well. I just try to fetch all the extensions on top of my head and clipped it, and I just pulled 2 strands at my front. And this one is also giving very classy look. It's also giving a very great personality, warm personality, someone who is confident in herself and knows what she is doing, okay. And then I think this is the last but one. I also just did a bun and then maintaining the 2 strands at my front. It's a rough bun, so you can see some of the curls falling at my back basically. And then the last style, I just applied some of the butterfly clips into my hair. You can see the middle part, and basically that is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and like I mentioned, details of the hot braids curly extensions will be in my description. Please tap on the link and make sure you make good use of it, okay. I love you. Do take care and have a great day. Bye. Mwah.